Hey, welcome back, guys. Welcome to episode 32 of the Random Opening Challenge. And I'm back again. So here we're opening up, we are on 3-star with 11 wins on 5 dan. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, I haven't played this in a while. Guess just to push, and jump. Pretty standard stuff. Yeah, I think I'll just capture the corner. Seems pretty good to me. Finish this off, and I guess they are going with the Moyo this time. Okay, let's do a high approach here. We are blitzing through this as usual. Okay. I guess no particular reason to Hane, so I'm gonna go with the bump in Hane here. Connect, okay. Guess extending is the only move.
现在开始读秒
And I think I wanted to jump still, even though there is a bit of a weakness. But the Atari shouldn't work immediately. What? Huh. Atari and Tanuki, interesting. Okay. Bit surprising there.
9、8、7、
Guess peeping should be... I don't see how I can lose from that, so let's just do the exchange. Make white heavier. Then defend the top. Invade again. And one more time. Yeah, this is fine. Normally you shouldn't really expect to clean kill everything
现在
anyway,
开始
so
读秒
especially with this exchange, and White's group here is kind of awkward. I think this is pretty acceptable. So I'm just gonna get the Sente and take something big. Okay, yeah, the pincer makes a lot of sense. It's a little bit awkward, the shape.
7、6、
I want to actually attach
4、
and crosscut,
3、
but I don't really know
2、
what I'm gonna get from that. So I decided to just Tanuki and see what happens. Okay. So wedging here. This seems pretty unreasonable, especially since White has lived, and there are a lot of Sente moves that Black has now on the White group there. So here I'm actually tempted to capture the top 3 stones.
7、6、5、
Doesn't seem so easy though.
2、
I think I'm just gonna connect. Connecting should be fine. Don't see anything that White could do here. Well, I could do this squeeze, but I don't think it's going to affect me that much. Yeah.
Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah, I have a choice of not letting White getting the squeeze as well. I think that makes more sense.
9.
Yeah. If I tare on the first line, I'm gonna get squeezed here. White's gonna tare and throw in. Yeah. I feel like the middle is pretty big.
9, 8, 7.
Not letting White getting those stones there. Okay, this I did not expect, because then the top White group is completely unattended for. Now, what's the best? Should I just capture the thickest move? Okay, so I think white's gonna try to live this group.
9
Oh. Is white okay with me just taking the top? Right? Okay. Hane, this should be Sente. Okay. And then, do I have strength to kill? It doesn't feel that necessary because the move for white to live is actually
8
very
7
small.
6
I think I'm just going to let this one go as well. Then we're going to block this part. This feels pretty big as well. I'm going to just take the top right now. There's some aji here. Yeah, white might have some sentence here. I think white's going to do something about the middle now.
5 4 3
Since
2
it's getting really big.
1
Oh, okay, here we go. So this is something we have to fight off. I'm thinking of just keeping everything in. Oh, okay, that's a bit surprising because I thought white was gonna Hane on the other side. This is just gonna help me, I think. I don't see what white is gonna do with all these scrappy stones. I think I'll just net this to stay strong in the middle. This also does prevent white from escaping over here as well. And the rest of the groups are just black's just really strong, so I don't see any way white can live. So white's pretty much giving up that connection towards the top there. I mean towards the 5 stones on the right.
9 8 7 6 5 4 3
Yeah, this connection does matter because white has a gote eye on the right side.
Nine, 8 7 6 5 4
I don't think this is actually a good move. I probably should connect the 1 stone. But then since black is so strong, I think no matter what I do here, it's probably fine. So, I mean, black just has all solid connections, so there's just nothing white has going for them right now.
9 8 7 6
And that should be it.
4 3 2
We'll push this down so that guess I'll get this back. Yeah, let's just push this stone back. I don't want white to try other stuff on the top. Yeah, I mean, at this point, whatever we do is fine. Everything's connected. But on the other hand, white's not connected anywhere, so yeah, we'll just fix everything one by one. Yeah, fix everything. We'll just live and take everything. Yeah, white has nothing going for them right now.
Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Okay. Just cut this off then, I guess. All right.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Cut this one.
Nine, 8.
Guess I should have Atari'd 5,000 years ago. Okay.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
All right. I think we've entered trash time, so let me just pause until my opponent resigns. I'll be right back.
6, 5.
Alrighty, didn't take too long. It's just a couple more moves. Nice. So, I guess not too much to talk about in this game. I think we took advantage of being very flexible here. So, after we established the top left, white played some very aggressive invasions, but none of them were really that threatening to black. So we were able to be very flexible and allow white to live in bits and pieces, but still keeping the big picture. So here we just jumped, allowed white to Hana and connect. There's a lot of forcing moves still in the corner, which makes black indirectly very strong. So then I took some value on the left side, and then white started to run out here. So the big-headed ghost here was a pretty good move by white, and then we Atari'd out to keep the strength in the middle. So still going very well because the white group here is still very weak. If it dies, it's huge, but if white escapes, it's a huge burden. So after that, white lived in the corner. We just allow white to live again. So just being very flexible here did it very well for us. And all right, with that, let's continue with the next opening. And let's see what we roll. 3. 3 is low Chinese. Here we go. The low Chinese has 15 wins. We are quite close. 5 more games. Oh, interesting. I have been seeing these a little bit more these days. The 3-5s and stuff. But, as always, we are never afraid of Taisha, so we will challenge them. Alright, so we're going to approach this, stick with our opening philosophy here with the low Chinese. We're going to expand from the 3-4, and hopefully force the invasion. Okay, interesting. So we can double approach or 3-3. I guess I'm kind of feeling simple, so we'll go with the 3-3. Huh, wow. That I did not expect. Alright. I guess I'll just taunt and extend out. See what white's trying to do here. I guess I'll pull back. Yeah, let's pull back and we'll just cut. If white attaches, we'll just cut first and take this. White might take gote here. So I think this is pretty big. Yeah, if we cut this, white takes a gote, we can just continue our opening. I don't see any problems with that, so yeah. My philosophy is usually, if you see something simple that works, you should just do it, right? There's no point in thinking of anything difficult. It's my lazy reading philosophy. So, okay. White allowed us to hane. Trying to see what white wants here. If white cuts, we can extend up. Continue to ask what white wants here. So white did allow us to push through. I'm definitely going to take this because the lower right works very well with what we're establishing here. And now it's really nice that we took the stone on the left, right? Because now our group is completely settled. If we didn't, then if white fixes, it still pressures our group a lot. And that would be quite annoying, I think. Okay, so white hanes. I'm tempted to Tanuki again. Because white's already completely alive, there's not much value for playing locally anymore. Okay. Counter pincer seems pretty reasonable. I guess just diagonal out. Yeah, it's pretty reasonable. I am pretty happy to get the shoulder hit though. Okay, I think just fixing should be fine. I mean, peeping now doesn't make a huge difference. At this point, white's just making themselves really weak everywhere. I don't see any merit in doing this for white. You see like all these stones are... They're not flexible. That's the problem. They're all over the place and it's easy to split them up. And white extends here. I think blocking makes sense. Keep pressuring white. Now because we can pressure white, the black group is just getting stronger and stronger. I'm going to cut this to see what white responds with. It's another perk of being pretty strong now on the outside. So I can actually peep this next if white comes from under. We do have a cut here. I think that's what our opponent is aiming at. Maybe let's just fix that first so that we don't have to worry about it later. Well, technically when we connect, it's sente. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna... yeah, I'm gonna exchange this. Make sure white wants the second line stone. And then... What? That's definitely a strange move there. Okay, I guess it works. Yeah, let's just fix our cuts. We are being relatively conservative here. But you can see that locally black is taking all the value. None of the white groups have a lot of points. And white is forced to make this group alive. Gonna attach out. And now, now the middle group is also pretty weak here for white.
9
I guess we'll just connect this out. It's pretty valuable here in terms of points, but also, yeah, we're continuing the pressure on the 3 white stones. Yeah, this is going to be easy mode going forward since white's so weak now with no points. And black has about the same points as white, minus all the potential.
8
And
7
it's fairly reasonable to assume that black is going to make a lot of points with the rest of the potential here. So we are doing very, very well. The next step is to
7
just continue pressuring white, get a lot of moves, and then take Sente and then defend the lower right. This is actually an interesting direction question.
8 7 6 5 4 3
There are so many moves that black can play now, it's actually quite difficult to decide which one's the best. Black could have come from the other side, but I decided to just have the connection first and make everything strong first.
5 4 3 2 1
And then we're just going to come from the top here. And force white to connect to the group
9
towards the left or the bottom.
Now
I'm not quite sure why white is trying to be on attack mode still, because definitely the situation has shifted and white is already pretty weak now. Just extend, I guess, here. Should be fine. White keeps pushing, then we'll just keep extending. It would be nice to get Sente here, but given the sequences of events, it's pretty hard. Yeah, but white invading is not the end of the world. I can just establish the rest of the territory and still be miles ahead, so I'm not worried about this at all. I think we can just extend, and as we predicted, we're gonna just make the rest of this into territory. Just gonna keep pressuring white, make them live small, and establish a lot of points in the process. So after settling this, this group is still not fully connected. White peeping here. This is a strange move to me. I don't really see it working, so I'm gonna probe it a little bit to see what we can make out of it. Okay, I guess white's just sacrificing the stone. I guess that's pretty smart. Yeah, not actually gaining that much from this. White can just extend here. I guess I still have to capture it. Yeah, that wasn't very smart, actually. We didn't really gain much from this. Yeah, luckily we still have Sente and we can keep the attack on white.
9 8
And there
7
is no jump. If white jumps, we can push. So that part is okay. Just exchange this one. And then
9 8 7 6 5 4
wow, okay. That doesn't seem worth it. I'm just gonna capture this. This is so big. Because now black has the entire right side. I don't even see any way white can... I mean, even if white captures the whole thing, it's not worth it, right? I feel like I can just capture everything, actually. I mean, the push is a good exchange, so that's what I'm tanuking now. I've already gained from this by destroying white's eye space with that move. There's still a cut, obviously, but we can save that for later. If white sacrifices this group, we don't even have to spend a move there. So that's why I am choosing this exact timing. Okay. We're going to Hane first. Yeah, white is very dead here. So okay, and why don't I just capture this? I think it's a good time to make the Hane now because white has this diagonal, so that means this Atari for white doesn't mean anything. So I'm going to make this Hane now to reduce the possibility for that middle eye space. And yeah, everything's just dead at this point. I think white might connect and try to cut us in the middle. The clamp here. We just exchange the turn. If white connects, we'll just capture the middle. That seems like a pretty good deal for us. And yeah, we'll just exchange everything and then descend. I'll definitely remove all possibilities in the middle. And the right side is still dead. Oh, okay. There is the jump now because of the liberty being filled, but that's only maximum one eye on the right side. I don't see any way for white to make the second eye in the middle. Yeah. This move is actually quite greedy because we've already captured the right group and we're saying we're capturing another one. But I'm looking at this and I'm seeing 100% capture, so I don't think we are actually taking any risk. But normally, if you're doing something like this, you definitely don't want to be taking on added risk here, especially if you've pretty much got one group in the bag and you're not really sure about a second group. That would be a very not worthy decision. Okay, yeah, this is all kind of white's privilege. Yeah, it's a Sentei eye on the right, but I don't see any other eyes. Yeah, so let's make the jump exchange and then we'll jump this. There is a liberty reduction technique that white could do by throwing in twice and Atariing. But there's no second line attachment because black can connect. So nothing we have to worry about there. Yeah, this is where when you capture a group, you have to be very, very careful, and a bunch of moves just all of a sudden can work. So you just have to make sure nothing works. Just exchange everything and I think I can just turn from the middle. It's reducing white's liberty, but also I'm looking at some Sentei moves white could play in the middle over here. I think we're covered with that.
九八七六五四三二一。
Yeah, do you have a lot of groups getting cut off now, though? That is a bit annoying. So we have some final things to clean up.
九八七六
Yeah,
五
but I
四
don't see this
三
being a huge
二
problem. With the I there, there's just so much we can leverage.
九八七六五四三二一。九
This is a good move.
七六五四三二。九八
Yeah, this liberty shortage is giving white that final I there.
九
Because white descending is sente now.
七六
And we have to respond to it.
四
Huh.
九八
So I think white just lost their chances there with that move there. White needed to descend here to have that second eye. But now black is threatening it, so just block this. Just take away the middle eye, I guess. There's yeah, there's a coup here, but I don't have to win it even.
八七六五
Yeah, this was a thing before as well. Just capture first.
九八七六
I don't know why this game suddenly got so intense, but we're kind of just dealing with all the final issues now. Yeah, it's actually not that intense, but it's a little bit intense.
九八七
Yeah, because we are on the killing side, we have to get everything right. And there's no room for error there.
九八七六五四三二一。
So let's finish the connection. I think we're fine. There is a co-connect.
八七六五四三
But there's definitely no I for white if white does that. Yeah, this one I have to connect. Yeah, I don't. There's nothing else. White connects, we just
九
make the
八
I.
七六 九八七六五四三二
Okay, I just need to think of this a little bit more carefully. So if
还
I
有2次读
Tiger's
秒
Mouth, there's a double throw in and Atari.
九
Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, this still seems to be the safest. Am I getting something really wrong here? I don't think so. Yeah, White doesn't really have enough liberties to do what they're trying to do here.
九八
Because of the first line connections,
六
um,
五四三
we are still winning this by quite a lot. What is this? Yeah, but if White connected, we can just connect and reduce, and we still win.
八七
If White makes the I, then they're reducing their own liberties, but if they don't, then they have to fill in all of these connections. So either way. Okay, now we're just finishing up. All right, cool. So I actually ended up doing a lot more than I should have, and that's what caused like this whole thing to be so complicated. I mean, yeah. So it was like opening a can of worms. It's totally unnecessary. I mean, yeah, White came down, and I guess I started with the push and cut right, and then I started to get more, and then things ended up getting kind of very unnecessary. Yeah, I wonder if you guys can relate to that. Yeah, sometimes you just doing something, but then start doing something else that's totally unnecessary. gets you in a lot of trouble. Yeah, I guess the simple thing for that situation is just do a connect under. Then there's literally going to be no issue after that. Yeah, but fun game. Sanrensei is always very, very messy, so it's quite fun to be fighting so much there. That definitely took a while, but at the end I was literally winning by over 100 points. But that was that, so let's continue. Our next opening... High I. Alright, I think that's where I'm going to leave it off for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you learned something, and I'll catch you next time.